Hello and welcome to the May 13th, 2024 Solana Memecoin Trading Journal and Watchlist. My name is FOMO, you mofo. I trade Solana meme coins. That's it. I'm learning the rest as I go and sharing it with you. Before we get started, just a disclaimer, nothing in this video here is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. If you want to keep up with me, follow me on X, follow my Telegram to get more in real-time market updates and what we're actively trading. And per usual, don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Now, with all the mumbo jumbo out of the way, guys, this past week has been insane. In today's agenda, per usual, we're going to go over my portfolio update, my biggest wins, my biggest L's, and the current metas that are going on right now, which a big new contender is Stonks. And yeah, it's been insane. I literally have no words. But yeah, let's just get right to it because I'm a little excited. So, in this portfolio update this last week, I made $60,990 in realized profit. And the biggest win by far has been for Selfie Dog. Man, let me tell you a story. This dog has absolutely changed the game. And of course, my short life here. Made $28,000 off of this trade and still have a pretty big moon bag, unrealized bag. I did buy back in after selling the top. So unrealized, we have, I think, another 50K or something. So it's been treating us as pretty good. Um, so yeah, Selfie Dog is this thing. It's basically a Shiba Inu, I think is how it's pronounced, taking a selfie. And the meme is pretty good. You just kind of put the dog in different spots with different celebrities, taking selfies with other people, or you could also PFP it, which I think is the cool part. So kind of like what Michi does, and even with how it has like the dog in various different outfits and things like that. I think it's a really good meme. A lot of big people back it, and I was actually, I think, one of the first people to call it out on the timeline as far as like the insider stuff that was going on, because I'm more than positive that this was a huge psyop and just planned from the start. I have my whole conspiracy here theory here in the Telegram, so I kind of put it here like don't FOMO into this, but it looks promising. I'm trying to connect some dots here. So I saw that Sage posted that there's a crazy CTO right now on Selfie. Shout out to Sage, you should follow her. And then I also saw that Pelgrani, however you pronounce it, was saying that he aped into his first pump fund and got cheated into oblivion. And as I was checking out Selfie because of Sage's tweet, I did see Pal here, messaging saying that the team is dumping, let's go, kind of soft footing. Then I saw Liv doing that as well. And Liv is involved with Bobo and Harambe. So it it just felt like something was up. And this is when the coin was going from 200K market cap to 700K. And like I said, I was confused, I was regarded, and a lot of wallets like Smart Money that I track what was aping into it, and they weren't selling even when it crashed to like 25K market cap briefly. So I just saw a lot of accumulation, and like the community was something else. Like there was no buy bot at some point, so someone changed their name to like Selfie Dog Buy Bot and manually started putting in the amount of buys. So it was just crazy. So when I finally knocked out at 3 a.m. my time, I was up for like I had been up all day anyway. But yeah, this was over the span of like 4 hours that all this happened. I fell asleep and the floor was holding solid at 200K market cap. And yeah, I was just confused. I was even the interim dev for like an hour. Like I set up the buy bot. Like it was just a whole thing. But then it just started skyrocketing. And I mean, like it was sending. Paul Grani tweeted about it. It was at 1.7 mil market cap. And yeah, it was insane. It right now it's sitting at Let's see. I think it was like at 8 million or something like that. I can't find it. I should just type it. Yeah, it's at 7.7. It peaked here at like 12, I think, 11. It was there earlier. So yeah, I really do expect this to go a lot higher. But yeah, this was by far a really, really big win for us and anyone else who like joined. And yeah, I think the chart looks really good. It did dip back down to like 2 mil at some point. Um, but yeah, I think much higher for this guy. It's there's so many buys coming in right now at this level, and we'll still continue to see a hold there. But yeah, that by far was a pretty big win in the last week. Mini again, it kind of went for all-time highs, which is amazing. It dipped down to like 2 mil. If you like around here, we were updating and charting charting it for you in the Telegram. And then I think this is when Michi started to, it finally crossed 200 million, I think. Like Ansem tweeted about it or something. You can see here, like the volume just started to plow in because, again, I've explained it in my other videos that Mini, I think, is a really good meme. A lot of people know what this cat is, and it's like the infinity meme thing. It's various different memes in one. So like we had banana cat, kiwi cat, lime cat, like a bunch of different ones, and this is all in one. And just look at that. It was beautiful. If you caught the entry at 2 million, you would be up crazy. Peak, 290% or 200% at the levels that it is now. It was on a nice dip earlier and it's pumping at this moment, so we should probably see it exceed all-time high again. So Mini, I think, is going to be the next um, the beta play to Michi for sure. So I think this is still a really good one to stay holding, and I swung traded it a little bit, so I was up 7,200 from it this past week. This was a copy trade. I didn't really share it because it was a copy trade. So yeah, I made 6 grand on that. Hiji, it's still cooking, I think. Um, this is one of those that kind of just like tanked and kind of same thing when it came back. And it's kind of pumping right now too, which is nice. So it just exceeded all-time high, had a little bit of a correction here, and just the chart looks really good. And I think this one will do well too. I know this is kind of a carbon copy of Elgato, but I think the issue with Elgato is that there are just a lot of dormant holders and it has like no volume. But, if we were to pump this guy, like there's a lot of people just waiting for an exit that may be down bad. Like this guy is down $27,000 as soon as we start pumping this one. Like he's just gonna dump. So yeah, I don't foresee Elgato coming back at all. I really think Hiji is the one that is gonna take over because it is a good meme. It's known by quite a few people. It's recognizable. We've seen these at some point. So yeah, I think this one's gonna be around for a while too. So yeah, made nice profit on that one. This is a copy trade as well, so not really gonna go over it. Howie, I took my initials out on it. Man, this one's gonna be a cooker for sure. Howard Stern, the redacted Howard Stern. This is part of the Politify, um, meta that we're in right now as well. It did cross it did tap a million in market cap, and it's on a nice dip right now. I think the entry here is quite beautiful. Um, the Telegram I think got in at 150K to 300K, and a lot of Chads are backing it, like ETHXE, Sol Goodman, and a couple of other ones. So just the content is well planned out. They're consistent. They're tweeting pretty consistently as well. Chris, the dev, is just a base ass motherfucker, and I love this person. So keep at it, Chris. I believe in this project. And then just a few others. Mickey, this one is pretty cool too. It's kind of like a rat type thing. It's on a huge dip right now, but as you can see, buys are coming in here on the volume. Um, the last time I updated the Telegram, it was exceeding all-time highs, but again, just a lot of people were taking profits at the top, and then it corrected here. And guys, like you got to zoom out sometimes. Like look at Michi, it did the exact same thing. It hit all time high, it corrected, hit all time high, it corrected, consolidated for a couple of days, all time high, correct. Like the chart will never just go up only. Even here, before it ripped like crazy, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's done with, it's over." But when you see charts like go down like this, and we'll switch to lines just to make sure that our math is correct. Whenever a project reaches a new all-time high, you'll always see a dip of around 40 to 60%. I've explained this like multiple times in the Telegram group from the start. Um, it I can't really explain it because I'm not a technical analysis expert by any means, but it's just a pattern that I recognized in doing this for the past few months. Like you'll always see those 40 to 70% dips, and once you kind of understand that and master that, like it it just becomes so much more fun and easier to trade, because you know that it's going to dip. Like it's not going to be a surprise to you, and you're not going to feel like you bought the top. So like study this, like stutter these corrective patterns. And I've linked to a couple of different resources before on like fib retracements and things like that. So like yeah, I can't explain this for the life of me, to be honest. Maybe one day I'll be able to explain it efficiently, but for now I'll just keep linking to those other resources that I've kind of just been sharing and tweeting. But yeah, just pay attention to those patterns that you see on the different charts that you're looking at. um, you don't need to know technical analysis to do well in this space, just as long as you find a meme and a community that you really believe in, like you're set, you know. But yeah, anyway, Miki, that's a long-term hold for me. Moose Key, that one was interesting. I was a copy trade as well, and it rugged, so I hit it from my Trojan, and then I woke up one day, I think I was up like 5 grand or something when it was like at all-time high. So yeah, that was an interesting one too. It's another rat. So there's two rat coins pumping right now, and I think right now is a pretty good entry for it. So yeah, I sold a little bit at the top, and now it's kind of uh, moving a little sideways here. Like you can see a lot of buy volume coming in on it. A lot of people are bullish on this thing, myself included. Um, don't think I'm in the Telegram really being active. Maybe I should though, because community is really good. Crockcat took initials out. This one's going to be a slow cook too. Tilly, just a quick swing trade. Doggy, this was a copy trade. So those two I don't really care about anymore. So this past week's big L's, Retrumprio did me dirty. Don't know what happened here, but yeah, I expected more from it, unfortunately. And it just, I don't know if they rugged, just didn't do well, but yeah, that was a pretty big loss that I took. I am pretty sure we bought the top here and it just died. But we move on. Same thing, Koro. That one looked promising, but unfortunately, another red panda coin. I don't even remember the name. I think it was like Pippi, PP, something like that, right? Um, yeah, this guy. He's even dead too. I think just red pandas aren't meant to be on Solana. I would choose Coco over PP though. 1.3 million volume. Let's see. Coco just needs more. Oh, fuck. Koala. Coco just needs more volume, I guess. All right, whatever. You guys saw it. Anyway, all right, let's talk about current metas. So right now, Stonks is kind of all the rage. I'll have this Notion doc in the description below, and when you click on the headers, it'll take you to the different watch lists that I have. So GameStop just absolutely ripped out of nowhere. And the biggest reason why I did that was because Keith, the guy Roaring Kitty, honestly, I don't really know the lore, nor did I watch the movie. But he's basically the one that did the big short squeeze of like GameStop and all that stuff. But he started tweeting, and naturally, Solana degens pumped GME. Even the actual like real stock started pumping, and Robinhood stopped trading on it multiple times again. So history is kind of repeating itself in that sense. But Yeah, we saw this huge price increase on GME. I mean, it went up 2300%. And this is one of those coins to where it had a very cult-like following and holder base from when it first had its first run up around the anniversary of when this stuff happened and the movie had came out. So the reason it's dipping aggressively, because one, whatever goes up must come down, but two, this was near the all-time high that it was at back in January, almost 90 million market cap. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've been in Solana meme coins, I am much more liquid now than I was back in January. And I think that's the case for a lot of other people. Um, so, naturally, when this massive green dildo pops out of nowhere, a lot of these people that have liquidity just waiting are just aping it. And that's why it ran up so high, so fast and so high. But the people that were stuck holding the bag, if they aped the top or if they aped around, 50 mil, which seems to be, we can kind of check that out actually. I forgot what that shit is called. So again, like, I don't really understand how to explain technical analysis to people, but I understand it. Um, just kind of, not really. But yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to butcher this. The line isn't even where I expected it to be. But anyway, um, yeah, essentially it's down right now because again, a lot of people were selling off because it was near their the all-time high, the previous all-time high, and if they were smart enough, they probably DCA'd here near the bottom. That's what I would have done if I was stuck, holding a massive bag like that. But yeah, I do expect this to continue to run even higher. Just the volume is insane still. Um, it's slowed down a little bit in the last hour or so. It's only doing 2.4 hourly, whereas it was doing like multi millions when this first started happening. But as long as Roaring Kitty is not hacked and he, you know, continues bull posting, I think we should be good. I wouldn't be surprised if this crosses 100 million in the next, week or so at the very least. Just right now, we're still having like those dormant holders, sell off because they might feel like it's not going to cross 100 million, like the people that are in disbelief that were stuck leaving holding the bag before. But yeah, I really do think this should do well. The entry that I shared in the Telegram was I think 15 to 20, so you should be up at least 2x. By now, I do have my initials out, as you can see from my wins. Oh, I didn't. No, that happened today, so it wouldn't show up here. This is from the last 7 days, so today doesn't count. Um, but yeah, so GME, man, much higher in my opinion. But with that being said, obviously, because I'm always looking for like what other plays will kind of pump along with it. The other obvious one would be AMC, which has already pumped crazily and already exceeded the all-time high I think that it was at before back in January. Um, I was never a fan of trading AMC back in January here on Solana, just because the liquidity wasn't that great, and a lot of people would just sell like jackasses. So I'm not gonna touch this personally. Feel free to do so if you'd like. I'm going to be mainly focusing on the other plays such as like Nvedua, the redacted GameStop, GME. Nvedua is cool. It pumped even like without the Stonks meta. It pumped back in March around the conference, the Nvidia conference. So all time high for this one was like 9 or 10 million, which right now it did pump earlier to like 2 mil just when we started, shilling it. But I'm still holding it. Massive sell off. I think a lot of people are selling for losses. Just funny. But anyway, I think this one will do well over time. Wizard of Soho tweeted about it before. If you don't know who he is, he's a Ethereum influencer. And redacted GameStop, I think, is another one that should do pretty well. It pumped pretty hard earlier, just because I think the holders are kind of skewed. Like there's a lot of people with a lot of the supply. So once those people start selling off, it should be a more comfortable coin to purchase and buy into. But yeah, it wicked to like 200-300, I think. But yeah, I mean they're pretty active on Twitter right now, which is nice. That's always what you want to see in a CTO. And again, they're creating some cool content. I'm interacting with them, and yeah, as long as they keep that up, I think it's a low risk, high reward type of situation for this one in particular. But there's also Apple, like redacted Apple, the BlackBerry thing. This one I thought would have done a lot better, but it it's kind of holding up. It pumped a lot last night, but I think just like a lot of the top holders just sold off. Um, I sold my initials and for a little bit of profit, but yeah, I think yeah, I don't know about this one. Um, Nothing against, the holders of it. I just haven't really been seeing them on the timeline. I thought it would do a lot better than it has thus far. So let's see. Just keep an eye on it. I mean, it's under 100K. If it goes down even more, I think it'll go down to like 50K or something. So I think at this point, if you bought when I was kind of sharing it, I shared it around here and then we got rugged in the Telegram. It went down to like 25K. It was crazy. And it pumped to like half a mil. Um, so if you didn't take profit on that run up, there's a lesson in there. And again, I always say take your initials out and TP on the way up and just forget about the rest. It'll maybe go up or it'll go down. You'll never know. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I'm really watching on the Stonks meta. Everything else is kind of dumping, like cats and even Politify is dumping a little bit, just because all the attention right now is on this, you know, GameStop stuff. And in the last 24 hours, like Donald Cat has just tanked. It went below my initial buy zone on the what is this called, like the 0.786 fib. It's a little bit under that. I still think even that is a good buy. Once the attention kind of strays away from GameStop and goes back to like the cat meta and everything else, I think we should be in a lot better shape. But yeah, I think it's a low risk, another low risk, high reward coin here. I mean, if we go back to all time high, that's a 500% gain. Um, Even if you wanted to go back to the previous all-time high here from a few hours ago, that's still like a 2.5, 3x. So yeah, I think this one's a good buy. Michi is just absolutely ripping. Just don't FOMO into it, but you can build a starter position here because if you look at the daily chart, like this is nothing. Like it hasn't really done anything. It hasn't really like changed in terms of pricing. Like the price action isn't horrible. Again, like at most, just goes down 30%. So I mean, right now it might go down another 30 to 40%, maybe even 60%, but it'll go back up. Michi's not going to go anywhere. These whales are on another level. It's insane. So that's a good one in terms of the cat meta. Mini we already talked about. I think it's the next contender, like the second best cat coin in my opinion, compared to Michi. Maneki, I don't know what's really going on with that one. Rock Cat, I think, is still a sleeper. It's an OG cat coin. All time high for this one's like 7 mil. It also fits the Zoomer meta, oddly enough, because I think rocks are very popular amongst Zoomers and the TikTok kids. So that's another thing I was kind of thinking about the other day. Nub is just I don't know. The community is keeping it alive as much as it can, but it looks like it's kind of giving up, especially with this sell off that we're seeing for like people rotating into GME. We just really need a Twitter that works, and then it'll come back to life. Um, yeah, High Mao is High Mao. I mean, yeah, it, it's just hanging around 20 to 50K market cap. It might be worth just buying a little bit and forgetting about it, and you'll wake up to some money one day. Um, Asian meta not really hot right now. Everything is kind of down on it. All of these are great to just throw a couple soul if you have them, laying around. So this is another like low risk, high reward type of coin situation. Like don't ape your life savings, but the attention's not on it right now. But when the attention does flip to it, the upside is just crazy. I mean, especially for all time high, you're looking at like a 1,300% gain here. So even if you put in like one soul, like it could potentially turn into 100, I think is the math. So anyway, those are just my thoughts there on that. But yeah, the Zoomer meta is also down right now because again, like with memes, whatever is the talk of the town is where the liquidity flows. Like even mewing, kind of broke out of like my initial buy zone here, and I'm just DCAing down as it continues to go down. Hopefully, this is its bottom here. Um, and once the Zoomer meta kind of comes back in full swing, mewing will start to pump, and then naturally Riz will start to pump along with it as well. Um, so yeah, just again, all the attention is on stonks right now. If you're in these positions and you're down, do not sell. Just wait. They will come back up. The only time you would sell or you feel like it's not you know where you have to sell it it almost is not worth it, but unfortunately I am in a different situation than most, to where if I'm down like 90 to 95% on a position, I just hide it from my wallet and just forget about it, and then if it comes back, cool. If it doesn't, then that sucks. But if you had not bought it and you barely bought here, and then you're down like 40 to 60%, if it's not money you need right now, it must it's going to almost be better to just sit on your hands and wait than try to sell, whatever you lost, and then try to make it back elsewhere. That's to where you kind of run into issues with potentially even losing more versus just holding onto what you had initially invested in. But yeah, it's all about risk management, and that's why when a lot of, like, I know I joke about it too, and a lot of people say like you should full port this or full port that. Always try to, let's say you're operating off of like 10 soul, whatever you buy, only buy 1 to 2 soul worth until you build up a bigger port size, or you have like more soul to kind of lose and play around with. So um, always look for low risk, high reward investment opportunities, like we did with like Whiff Band yesterday. Like we were already down, so like what's another $50 or whatever, $100 or however much you could afford to potentially lose as well. Um, if you doubled down, which I didn't, I just held what I initially had. That's a 5,000% gain, which is crazy. Um, so yeah, that this won't always happen, but it happened with this. It happened with Selfie as well. A lot of people did capitulate, I think is the term, to where it hit um, 50K market cap as well. And if you caught that and held it, I mean, shoot, that's a 30,000% gain, which is insane. I don't know if anyone did do that. I did not. I was freaking out when it was dipping that low, but it is what it is. You can't catch them all. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at this week. Closing thoughts per usual. Just invest what you can afford to lose. Keep doing your own research and follow the right people and make some friends. So I have a gift here for you guys that I've been working on. It's my goats list, the only MFs I trust for plays. So constantly adding people that I connect with, but just people that I feel give the most alpha, especially in Solana meme coins in specific. So I'll just consistently add people. If you're not on here and you're my friend, don't be offended. I just made this like 2 seconds ago. But yeah, I'll put it in the description, or I'll actually add it um, here onto, oh, I can't add it here. But yeah, I'll add it here for you guys to follow it and engage with it. But yeah, it's a good list of people to, get alpha from. And yeah, don't forget to support me. Join the Telegram for real time play so you don't have to wait for every Monday to watch this to know what's going on. Follow me on X to keep up with things in real time as well. And yeah, since you're already on here, subscribe to the YouTube. And yeah, appreciate all your guys' support, and we'll talk soon.